Baseball Complex on the campus of the College of Staten Island. You're watching baseball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet. This afternoon, the College of Staten Island. Excuse me. Once again, we're live from the CSI Baseball Complex on the campus of the College of Staten Island. Getting ready for non-conference action here between the College of Staten Island and Drew University tonight in Hillary Breast Cancer Awareness Night at the CSI Baseball Complex as the College of Staten Island looks to continue on their winning ways here as they get ready to face Drew University. The College of Staten Island coming in tonight's game with a record of 16-7-1 overall on this 2017 season, and they've been playing pretty good baseball as of late, as this year's seasonal championship will be decided on the best regular season record. So all these non-conference games count towards the regular season championship, and the College of Staten Island has been playing very good baseball as of late as they get ready to head down the final couple of weeks of the season and head towards the end of the regular season. CSI, after playing the game tonight, will be back in action tomorrow night here against Mount St. Vincent, and then we'll play this Friday night against St. Joseph's of Brooklyn. So a couple of doubleheaders here back-to-back for the Dolphins on Wednesday and then Friday, and then they'll be on the road and play Baruch. Their series coming up this following weekend. So a lot of baseball action coming up here for the Dolphins as they look to continue their hold on the CUNYAC Conference. They come into tonight's game pretty comfortably in front in the conference standings, as this year's conference, as we mentioned, being decided by the best overall record. CSI coming in with a record of 14-7-1 on the year, an 11-13 record for Baruch in second place. So, a good 6-game difference in the loss column for the College of Staten Island as the
are open, and also the sixth.
check.
So once again, all the raffles for tonight's
Check.
are open, and this next hand as well.
Live from the baseball complex on the campus of the College of Staten Island, you're watching College of Staten Island men's baseball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet. Tonight, the College of Staten Island looks to continue on their winning ways as they get ready to take on Drew University here on Breast Cancer Awareness Night at the College of Staten Island. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Babuski here, and it's the big night of the year for regular season baseball here at the College of Staten Island. It's the annual Grace Hillary Breast Cancer Awareness Night, and, always a big night here. Both teams wearing pink for breast cancer awareness here in the College of Staten Island, getting ready to face Drew University in this non-conference battle here tonight. The College of Staten Island currently on a 6-game winning streak, coming in with an overall record of 16-7-1. That's 68% baseball for CSI here as they've gotten on a roll, having won their last 6 consecutive games. And as we move down this stretch here in the regular season, a regular season where the CUNYAC regular season title will be decided based on the overall regular season standings, has opened up a commanding lead over Baruch, who's second in the conference, but they have 13 losses. CSI coming in with a record of 14-7-1, and it'll take a pretty big collapse coming down the stretch for the College of Staten Island to be denied the regular season championship here in this 2017 regular season, as we start to work our way down the final bit of the regular season here in baseball, as the spring sports winding down to a halt here. The regular season championship for CUNY begins on May 4th, so just a couple of weeks of baseball remaining, but still a lot of big games coming up for the Dolphins, a lot of conference games. They still have their games remaining against Baruch. They still have their games remaining against Lehman College. So lots of action coming up here for the College of Staten Island as they wind their way through the end of this regular season and look to defend their title as CUNYAC championships. For Drew University, it's been a good year for them this year, coming in with a overall record of 16-10 on the year and playing, very good baseball. And, for the last several years, they've been the team that's, been nice enough to come out and come over to Staten Island and play in this Grace Hillary breast cancer awareness game, and, very gracious with their time and their meal money. And, it's kind of become a tradition here, and, it's going to continue here for another year as CSI gets ready to face Drew University. And, for the College of Staten Island tonight, it's going to be Ryan Kennedy on the mound for the Dolphins. Kennedy coming into tonight's game with a record of 2-1 and a 3.05 ERA, and really has pitched very well for the Dolphins this year. And for the Drew University Rangers, it's going to be Jeff Sarin, the 6-foot freshman from Hillsborough, New Jersey. So a good pitching matchup here this afternoon. And this is, of course, Breast Cancer Awareness Night. The game, instead of starting at about 7 o'clock, we're going to have opening ceremonies here, and Dave Pizzuto will MC those ceremonies down on the field, and we will take you to those ceremonies and allow you to enjoy them and see what's going on out on the field. And then about 7:15 or so, or right before the start of the first pitch, we'll be back to get you the opening lineups of today's game and set you up for what has traditionally become a very good game here at the CSI baseball complex. A very exciting game between two very good teams. And we mentioned before, Drew coming into the game here tonight with an overall record of 16-10 overall, and including a 5-3 record in the very competitive Landmark Conference. So very competitive Drew Ranger team coming into the game tonight, and a Drew team that's also been coming in playing very well, having come in having split their last doubleheader against Moravian. So why don't we take you down to the opening ceremonies and our MC, David Pizzuto.
The College of Staten Island baseball program promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, ethnic, sexist, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Also, consumption or possession of alcoholic beverages is prohibited. Fans, we also ask that you respect today's student athletes, coaches, and your fellow fans by adhering to our no smoking policy in and around the CSI baseball complex. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get baseball started here at the CSI baseball complex, we'd like to take a few moments this evening to celebrate the reason why we have collected here this evening. In 2004, former CSI student athlete Anthony Hillary, a member of the CSI baseball program, lost his mother to breast cancer. Anthony's family received a lot of support during that time, and together with the CSI baseball program, he set out to use his mother's name to support breast cancer research through fundraising and an annual baseball game at the College of Staten Island. And thus the Grace Hillary Breast Cancer Awareness Night was created. Over the years, all proceeds generated were donated to organizations supporting breast cancer research and individuals who have served as beacons of hope and strength during their fight with this disease. Tonight, we're happy to report that to date, we have raised over $68,000 towards breast cancer research, and last year, we raised over $5,000 for the cause. It's not bad for a few hours of baseball. It's a testament to the overwhelming support by all of you in attendance, and we plan to go even further year after year. Tonight, student athletes and staff from CSI are here to help us with raffles, t-shirt sales, and concessions. They've sacrificed their night tonight to be with us and to spread the word of breast cancer awareness. Ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, we ask that you all please rise as we take a moment of silence to reflect on Grace Hillary, her memory, and her family's wishes to strike out breast cancer for all of its victims. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now, folks, please welcome our national anthem singer tonight, Mary Kate Brown. Thank you very much, Mary Kate Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you turn your attention to the area in between home plate and the pitcher's mound. Collected here are Athletic Director Charles Gomes, CSI Head Coach Mike Morrow, and CSI Associate Head Coach Neil Barbella. Ladies and gentlemen, these folks collected have a big hand in organizing tonight's festivities, and now they'd like to officially welcome our guest of honor, a 4-year member of the CSI Dolphins and whose mother's memory we honor tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Anthony Hillary. Ladies and gentlemen, because the borough of Staten Island itself has one of the highest concentrations of breast cancer in the United States, distinguished members of the CSI faculty through the CSI Center for Environmental Science have set up a special breast cancer research program dedicated to continuing the pioneering efforts at finding a cure. Tonight, Anthony and his family are happy to donate a large portion of the money raised tonight to the Staten Island Breast Cancer Research Initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Donna Gersley and distinguished members of the SIBCRI. Ladies and gentlemen, every year we raise money to support breast cancer research. But these folks here, and many like them throughout the country, are working diligently on developing a cure and helping us fight the disease through research and early screening protocols. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for the folks at CSI's Staten Island Breast Cancer Research Initiative, who volunteer their time every day towards finding a permanent cure for breast cancer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, every year we accept the gracious donations of so many during this great night, and over the years the generosity has grown. Tonight we'd like to get our donations underway by acknowledging the signature sponsors of our 14th annual event. CSI head coach Michael Morrow joined the good folks at One-on-One Sports Rehabilitation a handful of years ago as its marketing director. And when he mentioned to the executives at One-on-One of a chance to contribute, the team at One-on-One literally stepped up to the plate. Tonight, folks, they are presenting a check in the amount of $1,000 to our event to officially kick off our fundraising. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the owners of One-on-One Sports Rehab, Mr. Joe Saracino and Mr. Rich Bodian, Vice President Anthony DeSena, and Director of Sports Rehab, Mr. Steve Barth. Once again, our many thanks to the team at One-on-One, and here to say a few more words about the great folks is CSI head coach Michael Morrow. Mike, take it away.
All right, how about that? Can you hear me? All right. First off, I just want to thank One-on-One Physical Therapy, my bosses Joe and Rich, for donating the $1,000 check as usual. They never say no when it comes to anything like this. I want to thank Regina and Stephanie, our honorees tonight. The battle that they're going through is unbelievable. Just for them to come out tonight to share what they're going through is unbelievable. So I want to thank them too right now. Thank you very much, guys. I want to thank you guys for coming out tonight on a cold night. I appreciate it. All the money raised is going to a great cause. I want to thank Brian, the head coach of Drew University, and Drew University for coming down every year. This is their 6th year playing us. They donate their meal money. They bought these jerseys. Just the fact that they come down every year and show the warmth, and the baseball game is secondary here tonight. What it's all about is caring about two people tonight that are going through a rough time, and we're here to help that. So I want to thank my team for just being, really into it the last couple of weeks, thinking about this game. So just want to just remember what tonight's all about. We got plenty of raffles. Try and spend a few dollars. It's going to a great cause. Thank you so much for coming.
And thank you, Mike. Once again, thank you to the great folks at One-on-One, our highlighted sponsors tonight, and our great friends year-round to CSI Athletics. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to throw out tonight's ceremonial first pitches. To do so, we have two incredible women who are joining us today, representing the fight, the struggles, and the triumphs over breast cancer. They've shared their stories with us to once again raise awareness, help with early screening, and to show solidarity with Anthony and his family. Our first guest is a valued member of our community who was diagnosed with stage 1 ductal carcinoma in September of 2014, and very shortly after underwent 2 lumpectomy procedures to remove harmful tumors. She has subsequently undergone 33 radiation treatments as well under remission, proving that her fight against the disease will never be over. A pillar in her community, she runs the Holy Mother of Eucharist Adoration Chapel on Staten Island and volunteers a great deal of her time to her church and to religious activity and education. She's a proud supporter of the Susan G. Komen for a Cure Foundation, and she and her husband David are strong supporters of causes near and dear to Staten Island, including the Teddy Atlas Foundation, to which served as a connection to CSI baseball coach Mike Morrow and tonight's game. Tonight we are delighted that she has shared her story, and so escorted by her husband, her son David, and daughter Jacqueline, please welcome Mrs. Regina Sestaro. Strike one against breast cancer. Our next honoree is someone very close to Anthony and to the CSI athletics program. Grace Hillary was her stepmother, and understanding her struggle with the disease, she made it a point to get her mammogram screenings each year in a faithful effort to early detection. Alas, in December of 2015, she was diagnosed with ductal carcinoma in situ, a stage 0 pre-invasive condition where cells can progress into lethal form of the disease. Her screening found a tumor that was only 1/4 of an inch, one that was deemed malignant and if gone untreated could have progressed into a life-threatening condition. A month later, she underwent a lumpectomy, and since then, she has been given a clean bill of health. It hasn't stopped her, however, from getting her biannual screenings and monitoring evaluations. Diagnosed before age 50, she is proof that the disease does not discriminate in age, and that even if in its smallest form, the disease can shatter the lives of many if gone undiagnosed. She is the face of early detection, a reminder to us all of the power of awareness and what it does in the fight against breast cancer. Joined by her husband Vinny, her daughter Alexandra, son Vincent, son-in-law Anthony, and daughter and former CSI softball standout Brittany, please welcome breast cancer survivor Stephanie Smith. Okay, fans, those were strikes 1 and 2. And Mrs. Sestaro and Mrs. Smith, the CSI baseball teams, would like to thank you by presenting you with a little token of their appreciation as well. Once again, we want to thank Regina Sestaro and Stephanie Smith so much for being here tonight with the CSI and Hillary family for this great event. We certainly couldn't do it without your strength and without your support. And ladies and gentlemen, while they all pose for pictures, we want to let you know that throughout the night, we'll be selling raffle tickets to some extraordinary prizes. The prizes are on display behind home plate. And we have plenty of CSI personnel on hand to sell you raffle tickets and 50-50 tickets as well. Our concession stand with pretzels, candy, and drinks is open, and you can get official breast cancer awareness t-shirts at field level for just $20. We also have representatives from the Staten Island Breast Cancer Research Initiative, and we'll start pulling tickets for raffle prizes at the end of the 5th inning. So get your tickets now and see our friends at the SIBCRI for more information about breast cancer awareness. Our ticket prices tonight are $5 for 5 tickets, $10 for an arm's length, and $20 for a wingspan, our best value. Remember, fans, that all proceeds tonight will benefit the Staten Island Breast Cancer Research Initiative. Thank you all for your continuing support. Ladies and gentlemen, there are many among us tonight who have donated, and we will be thanking them throughout the evening, including our friends at Drew University. We want to take the time to let all of our donors and sponsors know how appreciative we are of your contribution. Your help goes a long way in making the Grace Hillary Breast Cancer Awareness Night a success at CSI. Thank you for all you do. Without further ado, let's play ball, and public address announcer James Martigos.
That was Associate Athletic Director and Sports Information Director David Pizzuto emceeing the opening ceremonies of this Grace Hillary Breast Cancer Awareness Night. Drew University participating in this game for the 6th year in a row, as the College of Staten Island just moments away from getting ready to face Drew University here tonight, as the College of Staten Island coming in, playing very good baseball, coming in on a 6-game winning streak. And, you know, head coach Mike Morrow mentioned during the opening ceremonies that, you know, tonight's certainly more than about baseball, and it most certainly is, but, you know, the way that CSI has been playing here tonight, you know, they'd like to keep on that roll they've been on. They've won 6 consecutive games, and they will get ready to face Drew University here tonight. Drew coming in with an overall record of 16-10. It'll be Jeff Sarin on the mound for the Rangers, Brian Kennedy on the mound here for the College of Staten Island. So while Ryan Kennedy is out there on the mound taking his opening warm-up tosses, let's give you the lineup he will face tonight against the Drew University Rangers. At shortstop, it'll be Zach Lifshitz leading off. Batting second and playing second base will be Isaiah Mateo. Tommy Broyles will be at first base. He'll bat third. Matthew Lang, the designated player, he will bat fourth. Mike DiDonato will be in right field. He'll bat fifth. Jonathan Rodriguez at first base. He'll bat sixth. Jason Mitch will be in left field. He'll bat seventh. Dan Pfefferkorn will catch. He'll bat eighth. Mark Cohn will play center field, and he'll bat ninth. And as we mentioned, Jeff Serin will be on the mound for the Drew University Rangers. Defensively for the College of Staten Island here tonight, it'll be Frank Muzio at first, Josh Mercado at second, Jet Nwerte will be at shortstop, Anthony DeMarco will be around at third, Glenn Glenister will be in left, Bobby Drake will be in center, and Nick Miola will be around in right field. The catcher for the Dolphins tonight will be Frank Sconzo, and as we mentioned, Brian Kennedy will get the start here tonight for the College of Staten Island. Kennedy coming into tonight's game with a record of 2-1. This will be his fifth appearance, all starts. He has one complete game and a shutout. In 20 2/3 innings, he's allowed 18 hits, 10 runs, 7 earned, walked 5, struck out 16, and opposing batters are batting .240 against him this year. So Kennedy's out on the mound. We've had the opening game ceremonies, and getting ready to step in to the batter's box will be Zach Lifshitz, and we're about ready to get underway here with tonight's breast cancer awareness game. And the first pitch is rocketed foul down the left field line and out of play, and the count goes to 0-1. Kennedy looking in for the sign, and the 0-1 pitch is going to be inside for a ball, and that'll even the count up at 1-1. Lifshitz coming into tonight's game batting .293 on the year. He's 27 for 92, 6 doubles, a triple, and 19 RBIs. And the pitch is taken for a strike, and Kennedy gets ahead in the count now, 1-2. Rangers coming into tonight's game batting .281 as a team. As Kennedy winds, and the 1-2 pitch is swung on, and that's drilled into left center field. Coming over is Drake, but he won't be able to play it, and that ball's going to roll all the way to the wall. Lifshitz will make it onto second base easily with a double. So a good start here for the Rangers tonight as Lifshitz doubles into the left center field gap for Zach. That's going to be his 7th double of the year. And that's going to bring up the second baseman, Isaiah Mateo. Mateo, a .296 batter on the year. He's got a home run and 13 RBIs for the Rangers. Let's see what they do here as they show bunt. And that first pitch will be fouled back for a strike, 0-1. So Mateo coming out and bunting after the Rangers get a good start and put a runner in scoring position with no one out. So they're coming out playing a little small ball here in the top of the first, trying to draw first blood here tonight. Kennedy looking in for the sign. The 0-1 pitch is bunted up in the air. Kennedy comes in, tries to play it, and he's able to lob it over to first base. And that time, not sure what happened that time, as Lifshitz kind of got hung up a little bit past second base and never really went to third base, even though Kennedy really didn't give him that long a look. So the bunt is not going to be successful on the sacrifice. Mateo will be out 1-3 for the first out as that ball was bunted pretty high up in the air, and Lifshitz couldn't tell. And now a pickoff play at second base, and very nearly getting Lifshitz at second base is Kennedy, as he just gets back as Nwerte was able to sneak in behind that time on the play, but Lifshitz made it back. So still waiting for the first pitch now to Tommy Broyles, the big first baseman, and the left-hander swings and fouls that back to the screen and out of play. Count goes 0-1. Broyles a 305 hitter on the year, 25 for 82 on the year, 3 doubles and 17 RBIs. And Kennedy ahead in the count 0-1, and they try another pickoff play, and that ball actually bounces off Lifshitz, but stays on the infield. So we'll reset now with the count 0-1 as Kennedy has tried to pick off Lifshitz at second base twice here. In between one pitch, Lifshitz 10 of 11 in stolen bases on the year. The wind and the pitch, and Lifshitz goes, and a beautiful diving tag that time by Anthony DeMarco. As Sconzo's throw was up towards the second base bag, and DeMarco made a beautiful diving play on the ball and was able to tag Lifshitz going by. So Lifshitz is going to be caught stealing on the play. 2-5 for the second out, and now Broyles will be even in the count at 1-1. 1-1 the count, and the pitch is swung on and rocketed down the first base line. That's going to be fair and roll into the Drew Ranger dugout. Rounding second and heading to third is Broyles. The throw comes in, and there'll be no throw as Broyles is in standing up. So a big court stealing on Zach Lifshitz might have hit the Rangers out of a rally there. At least it has so far, as that's going to be the second extra base hit of the inning here. And now with 2 outs and a runner on third base, it'll be the designated hitter, Matt Lang.
Designated hitter, number 28, Matthew Lang.
Matthew coming in batting an even 300. He's 9 for 30 in limited appearances this year. Another left-handed batter for the Rangers. And the pitch, off-speed breaking pitch, and Lang out in front. The count goes 0-1. Broyles drove that one right down the right field line. Musio couldn't make a play, and that ball rolled right down the line. A long way to run on the play for Miola, and by the time he got the ball and got it into the infield, Broyles was able to make it to third base pretty easily. And that's where he is now with 2 outs and the count 1-1. And the pitch, the outside corner, swing and a miss by Lang, and now Kennedy ahead in the count at 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 out now. And the 1-2 pitch, a swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice job that time by Ryan Kennedy. He gave up a couple of extra base hits in the inning, but the Rangers failed to score. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left. Half inning in the book. Rangers nothing. Dolphins coming to bat. We'll step aside, take a break. You're watching Grace Hillary Breast Cancer Awareness Night baseball coverage right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the bottom half of the first inning. The Drew University Rangers threatened in their half of the first, but failed to bring a run home across the plate as they got a leadoff double by Zach Lifshitz, but he got caught stealing at third base, and then Tommy Broyles tripled down the right field line, but that's as far as he got. So now it'll be the Dolphins' opportunity to bat against Jeff Sarin for the Drew University Rangers. And let's get you the starting lineup that Sarin will face here this afternoon. For the Dolphins, it'll be Frank Sconzo leading off and catching. Anthony DeMarco will be at third base. He'll bat second. Nick Miola will be in right field. He'll bat third. Frank Musio will be at first base. He'll bat fourth. Glenn Glenister in left field batting fifth. Josh Mercado will be at second base batting sixth. Sean Becker will be the designated hitter batting seventh. Bobby Drake will be in center field batting eighth. Jet Naverte will be at shortstop. He'll bat ninth. And Ryan Kennedy on the mound here for the Dolphins. And the first pitch is going to be blooped towards shortstop, and playing the ball on the fly that time will be Lifshitz. So Sconzo swings on the first pitch. He hits a little humpback line at a shortstop, and Lifshitz is there to make the play. So one pitch, one out here for the Dolphins in their half of the first inning. And let's get you the Rangers defensive lineup here tonight. Tommy Broyles will be at first base. Isaiah McHale will be at second base. Zach Lifshitz, who made the catch on that humpback liner, is the shortstop as DeMarco takes that pitch down low for a ball 0-1. Jonathan Rodriguez will be around at third. Jason Mitch in left field. Mark Cohn in center. Mike DiDonato will be around in right as that pitch is swung skied up high in the infield. Once again, it's going to be Lifshitz. He's under it, and he makes the catch for the second out. So 2 up, 2 down quickly here in the bottom half of the first inning, and that'll bring up Nick Miola. Jeff Pfeifferkorn will be behind the plate, and Jeff Sarin will be on the mound here for the Rangers this afternoon. We'll get you Sarin's numbers here in just a minute as the first pitch to Miola is taken for a strike 0-1. Sarin 1-1 with a 3.86 ERA. This is his 7th appearance, his 4th start. The 0-1 pitch is swung on and nubbed down the third base line, but it will roll foul and the count will go to 0-2. 21 innings pitched thus far for Sarin. He's allowed 20 hits, 9 runs, all earned, walked 13, and struck out 18. Opponents batting .263 against him. So he's done okay in the hit department, but 9 base on balls is a lot of base runners in 21 innings. So that's, something that Sarin is going to work on here for the Rangers. The freshman right-handed pitcher. Sarin looking in the mound. He's ahead in the count now, 1-2 on Miola. And the pitch is down low for a ball. That'll even the count up at 2-2. Miola having a great freshman year for the Dolphins, batting .363. He's second on the team, 29 of 80 with 11 doubles, 2 home runs, and 15 RBIs. Sarin looks in, the big right-hander winds, and the pitch is going to be fouled back to the screen, and the count holds even at 2-2. Sarin winds, and here comes the 2-2 pitch, and that's going to be down low. So a nice job by Miola working his way back into the count, working it even at 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. The wind, and here comes the 3-2 pitch. On the outside corner, strike 3 call. So Miola thought that one was close. Took it, but gets called out for the 3rd strike here in the first. Nothing across for the Dolphins in their half of the first. 1 inning of play in the books. No score. You're watching Breast Cancer Awareness Night right here at the CSI Baseball Complex, right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. We're back getting ready for the top half of the second inning. No score between the Dolphins and the Rangers. The Dolphins went out in order in their half of the first inning. The Rangers with a couple of extra base hits, but a big court stealing eliminated the Rangers' ability to get a run in their half of the first inning. So now we head to the top half of the second inning. No score, and Mike DiDonato will be the batter. The wind and the pitch is down low for a ball, 1-0. The wind and that pitch is going to be up high for a ball, and that'll make the count now 2-0. The wind and that pitch is going to be taken for a strike, so Kennedy gets his first strike here in the bottom half of the top half of the second inning, and that'll make the count 2-1. DiDonato batting .284 on the year. 19 of 67. He has 3 doubles and 14 RBIs. The wind now, the 2-2 pitch just off the outside corner. So now DiDonato works the count full at 3-2. The wind and the 3-2 pitch is swung on and grounded into the hole and past the first baseman, then under the glove of the second baseman and into the outfield for a hit. I believe it'll be scored a base hit. We'll have to see how the official scorer rules it on the play. And it is going to be scored a base hit, so that time DiDonato hit a slow roller in the hole. First, it went under the glove of Musio, and then Mercado couldn't make a play on the ball, and it went to the outfield, and it gets scored a base hit. So now a runner on first base. The Rangers now have 3 hits. And another bunt attempt, and that's going to be bunted foul out of play, and the count goes to 0-1 as Jonathan Rodriguez, the batter now for the Rangers. Rodriguez, a .254 hitter with a homer and 12 RBIs. The wind and the 0-1 pitch, he fakes the sacrifice and drills it down the left field line, foul out of play, and he falls behind in the count now, 0-2. So now Kennedy ahead of Rodriguez in the count, 0-2. And here comes the 0-2 pitch, and that swung on and lashed down the left field line. Just foul, and the count will hold at 0-2. So Kennedy getting hit hard here this afternoon so far. So already allowed 3 base hits, including 2 extra base hits. And now he's working with DiDonato at first base, no one out. Ahead to count, 0-2 to Rodriguez. And the 0-2 pitch is swung on, and that's drilled into right center field, and that's going to be in for a base hit. Rounding second and heading to third easily will be DiDonato. Rodriguez will hold that first base with a single. It'll be the 4th hit for the Rangers, and they have runners on the corners and no one out, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Jason Mitch. Mitch coming in batting .267 on the year, 14 of 45, 3 doubles, and 4 RBIs. And now that's going to be bunted down the line foul, and the count goes to 0-1. No balls, 1 strike now on Mitch. They go down and he has a word with the third base coach. And be head coach Brian Hirschenberg is the Rangers threatening once again. Dolphins worked around a couple of extra base hits in the first. No balls, one strike to count. And here comes the 0-1, and that's drilled down the right field line, foul. The count now goes to 0-2, so Kennedy's been getting hit pretty hard here this afternoon. But so far, the Rangers not able to break through on the scoreboard. But they're threatening with runners at first and third and nobody out. The 0-2 pitch on the outside corner, strike three. So Jason Mitch gets caught looking for the first out here in the top half of the second inning. And a big strikeout now for Ryan Kennedy after allowing a couple of consecutive hits to start the top half of the second inning. And that'll bring up the catcher. And that'll be Dan Pfefferkorn. The wind and the pitch, and that's not a full suicide squeeze, but the runner at third base coming down the line a little bit. That was DiDonato, but not all the way down as he made it back to first base, and Pfefferkorn takes that for a strike, 0-1. And that's going to be bunted once again. So a couple of bunts here by Pfefferkorn to start his at-bat. And he now falls behind in the count, 0-2. Came in batting .333 on the game. Very limited appearances, just 6 of 18 on the year with a couple of doubles. He's now down in the count, 0-2, as Kennedy trying to work his way out of trouble. With first and third, one out. And the 0-2 pitch. Oh, that pitch was really close. Kennedy wanted that one badly. He bends over on the mound, but it's called a ball, and the count goes to 1-2. One ball, two strikes, and the 1-2 pitch is swung on, one hopper to short. Played over to second for one, back to first in time for the double play. Nawate to Mercado to Muzio to eliminate the second Ranger threat here tonight. For the Rangers in their half of the second. No runs a hit. One of those has been ruled in error. Two left. 1.5 in the books. No score. We'll step aside, take a break, and be right back. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the bottom half of the second inning. No score between the Dolphins and the
Drew University Rangers as Ryan Kennedy has worked his way in and out of trouble here in this game and has been able to hold the Rangers scoreless, getting out of a 6-4-3 double play by Pfefferkorn as he tried to sacrifice twice, couldn't lay it down, and you could see why Drew wanted him to as he doubles up. So the wind and the first pitch is going to be, or the second pitch, I should say, will be taken for a ball, 2-0. So Musio, the batter now for the Dolphins. Frank coming in batting .324 on the year, 6 doubles and 15 RBIs, and the pitch is grounded hard to second base, and it's going to be off the glove of the second baseman Mateo and into right field, and we'll see how that's going to be scored. And that's going to be scored an error, so that's going to be an error on Mateo to allow Musio to reach first base here with no one out in the bottom half of the second. So Musio hit that ball hard, but Mateo could have made the play and gets charged for the error, the Rangers' first error of the game this afternoon. That's going to bring up Glenn Glenister for the Dolphins. Glenister, third on the team in batting .361 on the year, 4 doubles, a triple, 3 home runs to lead the team, and 15 RBIs. So Musio at first base now for the Dolphins, and that pitch is down low for a ball. A nice defensive play that time by Pfefferkorn to prevent the wild pitch, which would have allowed Musio to reach second base. Sarin looking in for the sign. The tall freshman's ready. The pitch, off-speed breaking pitch. And a swing and a miss for a strike, and now Glenister down in the count at 1-2. Sarin looking in for the sign, taking a long look, and now the home plate umpire calls time. Mateo picking up his 5th error of the season, and now we're going to have a conference at the mound as Sarin and Pfefferkorn can just not get together. Just want to let everyone know at the start of the next half inning, we will have Athletic Director Charles Gomes on the air joining us. First of many guests scheduled here tonight as that ball is going to be bounced foul. Now to play. I'm sure we'll have Anthony Hillary on. We've always spoken with him over the years. And the girls softball team continuing on their winning ways as they're on their way back from Randall's Island, having just taken care of Baruch College in a couple of games as that's going to be bounced foul, and the count will hold on the play at 1-2 as CSI women's softball team really just playing off the charts in the middle of a unprecedented winning streak and really playing so well this year, and really looking forward to talking as that ball is grounded hard to short, and that's going to be another double play. So the teams will trade 6-4-3 double plays as Lipschitz gets it over to Mateo, over to Broyles. So just like that, the leadoff error by Musio is erased. Glenister grounds out 6-4-3, and now with 2 out and nobody on, that will bring up the second baseman, Josh Mercado. Mercado coming in batting .344 on the year. And we'll ask Charles Gomes about this women's softball team when we have him on the air. That's the Dolphins now 19 wins in a row, 23-3 overall, red hot. They'll play Montclair State here at the CSI Softball Complex on Thursday, and then 8th-ranked nationally Moravian as the Dolphins will roll into Bethlehem, Pennsylvania this Saturday afternoon as that pitch is going to be taken up high for a ball, and the count now goes 1-2 on Mercado. As the Dolphins will have an opportunity to play one of the better teams historically in the region and Montclair State this Thursday. And then really see how they face as that ball is grounded up the middle. Nice job of hitting by Mercado as he gets a 2-out single here for the Dolphins. It'll be their first hit of the afternoon, and with 2 out, nobody on, that'll bring up Sean Becker. Becker coming in batting .302 as a team. So a lot of big games coming up for the Dolphins, and we'll have an opportunity to talk with head softball coach Dr. Stella Porto here later this afternoon. Is a lot of excitement brewing with that softball program, and the pitch is up high for a ball to Becker, 1-0. We mentioned Becker batting just over 300 on the year. The Dolphins really playing very well offensively this year, batting .316 as a team. They've also had 7 home runs, so showing much more power this year. And the count now goes to 2-0 on Becker. So the inning started off with an error, but Seren was able to erase the error by letting Glenister to ground into the 6-4-3 double play. Mercado then got a base hit, and now Becker has worked his way ahead in the count, 2-0 with center fielder Bobby Drake on deck. Seren winds. And the 2-0 pitch is going to be taken for a strike, 2-1. So 2 out, 2 on here for the, or 2 out, 1 on, I should say, for the Dolphins with 2 outs, and the pitch is down low for a ball, 3-1. So Seren now trailing in the count 3-1. And here comes the pitch, and that's going to be foul back to the screen, and that'll make the count full, 3-2. So Mercado will get a running start off of first base, but it looks like we're going to have another quick conference out on the mound. It seems like Pfefferkorn and Seren are having a very hard time getting together on what they want to throw. With a runner down on first base, it's not a question of them working out the signals. Quick throw over to first base. And Mercado works his way back. Throw over to first base. Mercado back once again. Now Seren's ready. And the 3-2 pitch is swung on. High chop. A nice stab by the first baseman Broyles. He gets it over to Seren in time for the final out of the inning. So a nice defensive play that time by first baseman Tommy Broyles retires the Dolphins in their half of the second inning. No runs, a hit, an error, 1 left, 2 in the books with the score. Dolphins nothing, Rangers nothing. We'll step aside, take a break. You're watching baseball coverage right here on your voice of CSI Sports, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. We're back getting ready for the top half of the third inning. No score between the Dolphins and the Rangers. The Dolphins were able to get a couple of base runners on, but a double play and a ground out by Sean Becker ended that threat. So it'll be Drew University's turn to bat here in the bottom half of the third inning. It'll be Cone, Lifshitz, and Mateo, the 9-1 and 2 batters, as that ball's going to be bunted down the third baseline, played by DeMarco, and a nice throw over to first base in time for the out. So Cone is out 5-3 for the first out, and you might have heard clapping in the background, and that was coming from the athletic director for the College of Staten Island, Charles Gomes, who was nice enough to join us here on CSI Sportsnet once again. Charles, welcome once again to CSI Sportsnet.
Thanks for having me, Mike. It's nothing like starting off and getting a great play by a third baseman to start off the inning.
Yeah, that's always a good start to the inning. And, you know, Charles, before we start talking about the game and the baseball team and the softball team and all the stuff that we like talking about, you know, we should definitely take a couple of minutes to talk about, you know, the whole idea of the Hillary Breast Cancer Awareness Night. And, you know, it's been such a long tradition at CSI, and it, you know, continues all these years.
Yeah, it's really something great that we can be a part of. You know, I think everyone from obviously Mike Morrow, the head coach, to the rest of the members of the staff, kids on the team, to our staff and the administration, you know, it's a great cause to get behind, and it's something that everyone can rally behind, feel good about contributing. And when you listen to the stories of the ladies that we're honoring tonight, it just makes you feel great about the whole thing. I mean, whatever we can do to raise some money for a good cause like that, I'm happy to be a part of it.
You know, Charles, we talk all the time, and we talk with Anthony every year, and you know, my mom is a breast cancer survivor herself, and
mine too.
And as that pitch is outside for a ball, as Lifshitz will draw the base on balls, he'll go down to first base with one out, and that'll bring up Isaiah Mateo. But, you know, it seems like on Staten Island, Charles, it really doesn't matter who you speak to, whether you're in the office or out, you know, talking with people, you know. It just seems like, you know, in one way or another, this is a disease that really seems to affect everybody. And, you know, everybody's out in their pink uniforms here tonight. And, you know, again, really like the premier home baseball event every year for the College of Staten Island.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. You look out, and typically baseball's not a sport that draws a large crowd, but on a night like tonight, when it's a cause like this, you see the support that comes away. And, I mean, even on a cold night, when people would much rather be home in their warm houses, they're out here supporting this cause. So it's a great thing for our baseball program to continue to do this year in and year out.
Yeah, and, you know, Charles, let's really turn our attention over to the baseball program a little bit. You know, the team is playing well. They've won 6 games in a row. Their record is now 16-7-1, and, you know, the team is really firing on all cylinders. But a very strange year in the conference, you know, using the conference standings this year, and, you know, a tough challenge for the kids to play, but they've really done a very good job and really have seemed to play better and better as of late.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I think the challenges with any college program in the Northeast, it really starts with the weather and what it plays with your scheduling. You know, we go down to South Carolina, we get in 6 games in the span of a few days. We come home, and then we're taking a break for a couple of weeks because we can't get on the field, whether it's snow, rain, cold. And I think it takes a team like us. We came back from South Carolina 5-1. You get back here and you completely lose your rhythm and maybe have a tough time getting started. And I think our true team has really shown up, in my opinion, in the last week to 10 days. They've really started to hit the ball. You know, we've got 4 or 5 guys who are hitting the ball pretty well, and our pitching staff has stepped up. You got a kid like Josh Bernstein who pitched a great game when we needed it, coming off of so many extra inning affairs last week and playing a lot of games in a small window. So you get a kid like that to step up. You have our pitching just – the starting pitchers have been phenomenal in the past week. And like I mentioned, our hitters are starting to hit. A kid like Glenister, the freshman Miola. they're playing really good baseball right now.
As Broyles lines that to shortstop for the final out, so Drew goes down, no runs, a walk, and one left, and we'll keep it right here. And Charles, the team has a 6-loss lead over Baruch in the conference standings, so they seem to have opened up a pretty much of an insurmountable lead, barring some kind of collapse toward the end of the season. And of course, we don't want to put any kind of jinx on them.
You're famous for that.
With 3 games still left against Baruch and 3 games still left against Lehman College. But, the team is playing well. They're batting over 300 as a team this year. And, the pitching seems to be coming around. And, of course, Charles, this is a team defending another CUNYAC championship.
Yeah, and I think those games with Baruch and Lehman that you mentioned, because they're 3-game sets, I'm not comfortable saying that it's over by any stretch. There's a long way to go. Anything can happen in those 6 games, not to mention the rest of our non-conference schedule. So, hopefully we can continue playing the way we have been. The pitchers continue to pitch well, and the hitting continues to improve as the weather gets warmer and warmer, and I think we'll see some good results.
And, as we head into this conclusion of this 2017 spring season, come May 5th, Charles, the CUNYAC Baseball Championships will be taking place, and this year they'll be taking place right here at the College of Staten Island.
Yeah, we were able to do that last season, and I've got to tell you, I think it was a great step for our conference. Like I mentioned before, baseball and softball are sports that don't traditionally get a lot of fan support. So when we can have both sports at one venue, I think it just adds to the atmosphere of a championship. We were lucky enough last year to win both in baseball and softball within about 10 minutes of one another. Both games ended, and that was a special thing. I wish the men could go on to have an automatic berth in the NCAA tournament. Unfortunately, we're not there yet. With softball, though, they were able to get it and go on and compete in the region.
As that ball is going to be bunted down the third base line, and the throw over to first base will not be in time. So that time Bobby Drake comes out and he bunts the ball down the third base line and gets a base hit. So for the Dolphins, it's going to be their 3rd hit of the afternoon, and a good start, Charles, for the Dolphins here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, great start for us. That was Drake that put that down, right? He's come up with a couple of clutch hits. I'm not sure. I think his average is a little bit lower than you'd want, but he's had some clutch hits. Last week he stepped up in a big spot, won the extra inning game for us by hustling up a single down the first base line, beat out the throw. And, it's plays like that really contribute to our team.
So now Naverte, the batter, and he tries to bunt, and he fouls it back, and the count goes to 0-1. And, Charles, the men's volleyball team just finished the season off and, made it into the CUNYAC championship round and, went to Lehman College and suffered a loss, but, that program continuing to grow.
Yeah, we're trying to grow the men's and the women's programs in volleyball, as well as men's and women's tennis. Men's tennis is on a nice little run right now as well. They've won about 6, I think, matches consecutively, so they've put themselves in a good position. We're hoping that we can grow those programs to get them to a level where some of our other programs are, like our women's soccer, our men's and women's basketball, softball, baseball. We feel pretty strong that we want to establish programs, not just teams. And the difference for that, to me, is in all the level of expectation. What do the kids in the program expect? What do your coaches expect? And when you can do that, you just raise the standard for everyone involved.
As Nuerte will be out unassisted at first base for the first out. It'll be Drake going down to second, and Frank Sconzo, who lined to short, will be the batter here for the Dolphins with a runner on second base and 1 out. And, Charles, that brings us to talk about one of the hottest teams in the country, and that's the CSI women's softball team that, Charles, is poised to break so many records, regular season records for the CSI Dolphins this year, and 2 huge games coming up. First, Montclair State this Thursday afternoon here at the CSI softball complex, but come this Saturday in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, your team will be traveling to face the number 8 team in the country.
Yeah, and I think those non-conference tests are really important for a program like ours. No disrespect to the members of our softball conference, but our best competition, what we're trying to prepare ourselves for, is NCAA regionals. And those are the types of teams that we'll face in regionals. And, you're going to, when you play a team like that, you're going to see a really solid pitcher, something that's comparable to what you'll see it in the NCAAs. and it gives us a good test as to where we are and what we're ready to handle come the postseason. And the goal for us is really to get beyond that first round. We'd like to make it out of that and make it to that second weekend, and I think our team is poised for it. Hopefully, with the additions we've made to this year's team, our softball program is ready to take that next step.
You know, Charles, so much of softball is pitching and defense, and you know the way that this team has been pitching this year. You have 3 pitches that, if the regular season were to end today, would shatter the regular season pitching ERA record, and the defense that this team plays has just been so phenomenal this year. And because the pitching doesn't allow any base on balls, your stolen bases are way down. And really, I can't remember this softball team ever playing better at this point in the season.
No, this is my 4th season here, and I'd say pretty easily it's the best team that I've seen in my 4 seasons. You know, you mentioned the pitching has just been phenomenal. Headlined by Jackie. You know, she's a small player with a huge heart and unbelievable talent. Both sides. I mean, pitching in the field, on defense when she's out there, and at the plate. She just does it all, and she's in sight. Has so many records in sight for her that I think it's important for her to set some of those records, but I also believe it's more important for her to have some success on the national level. You know, knowing Jackie and how her mindset is, I feel pretty confident saying that's what she's looking to do as well.
And, you know, Charles, the team has won NCAA games for the last 2 consecutive years, and I think this year there's a real strong chance of the team playing much better in the NCAA tournament, of course, assuming they make it through the CUNYAC conference.
Yeah, that's definitely important for us. We can't lose sight of that. Anything can happen when you get into those postseason tournaments. So you get a team like Hunter, who scares me. They have some potential. Even a program like Lehman isn't so bad. They can run a little bit around the base paths, and they can cause some damage if you let them get on base. But that's been a strength. Our pitchers have not allowed base runners, whether it be walk or via the hit. So I feel pretty good about our chances. You
know, Charles, we really haven't had a much of a chance to talk since the basketball season concluded, but a very good year for both teams making it into the NCAA tournament. And, you know, really for let's start with the men's basketball team, for a team that many felt would be a rebuilding year, a regular season championship, and a CUNYAC championship, and then a good performance in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I'll disagree about the NCAA part, but I kind of have high expectations for our team. But in all seriousness, really a spectacular season for both the men and the women. First time that both of our programs have ever made it to the tournament in the same year, so I couldn't be more proud than both of those teams. And on the men's side, just some spectacular performances. We had a young man, Frankie Schettino, I see here tonight, out here supporting the baseball game, and Frankie had probably one of the best seasons in the history of our institution on the men's side. I mean, triple doubles. He had, I think, 4 triple doubles on the season. Led the nation. He was one of the leaders in the nation in assists. And at times when we needed scoring, he would do that as well. I mean, he tied his own record against CCNY in the regular season when we played at CCNY. And just did a phenomenal job. And, you got a coach like Tony Potosa, who's also here tonight supporting things, who, without Tony's leadership, we would never be able to get to that spot.
And turning our attention over to the women's side, Charles, they had such a good run in the middle of the season. They went on that long undefeated streak, and then heading into the final 2 regular season games of the season, they end up losing to both Brooklyn College and Lehman. And, we're kind of reeling a little bit heading into the tournament, but they do such a great job coming back in that tournament, Charles, and beating the same 2 teams that denied them the regular season championship.
Yeah, I think the key for me was that the turnaround anyway was with Lehman. They had a player that is very explosive, can score a lot of points, and defensively we just shut her down. I took her completely out of the game. I believe Victoria Cray was on her, following her the whole night, just did an outstanding job defensively. And our team was really gritty. We went through that little bit of a tough patch, like you mentioned, but came back, got into the first postseason game against John Jay, blew them out, and then I think that really just turned things around, got the momentum going from that point forward.
as DeMarco goes down looking for a big strikeout with runners at second and third. That'll be the second out, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Nick Miola. Miola struck out in the first inning, so he's 0 for 1. And, you know, Charles, the seasons go by so quickly. It's just amazing. And, you know, we're heading into the finals of baseball, and you know what that means? It means soccer season's about to start. Yeah. And, you know, the men's team kicking on the door, looking for big things from them. And the women's team, you know, really has turned into a CUNYAC powerhouse.
Yeah, I mean, I could go on for days about all of our teams. But I'm very encouraged what I see with both our men's and our women's soccer program. Really quickly on the women's side, I just think we're at another level. And I expect them to be more competitive in the NCAAs and more competitive in the region during the regular season. You know, we've got some non-conference games scheduled that I think will be very interesting for us and could give us a better idea of where we are. But with the recruiting that Coach Panetti has done with the last year's freshman class and what I know he has coming in for next year, I feel very confident about that team's future. And on the men's side, John Hardy always does an amazing job bringing in some good, talented players. And I'm hoping that's the case again this year. I know he's excited about his recruiting class. But with that program, we're looking to take that next step. We haven't been able to get over that hump yet. It's not for a lack of trying. They're one of the hardest working teams that you'll ever see in the offseason, whether it be strength, conditioning, or their off-season work. They put in the time, and hopefully it's going to lead to a CUNYAC championship.
So Miola goes down on strike. Strike 3. The Dolphins threaten but don't score. They leave 2 on. And, Charles, thanks for spending an inning with us here this afternoon as, you know, another great night here at the College of Staten Island. And, you know, we're looking forward to a great game here tonight and, you know, some great baseball and softball heading down the stretch. As you mentioned, both the baseball and softball championships right here at the CSI Sports Complex.
Yeah, I look forward to it, Mike, and hopefully we are broadcasting those games, and I'll come and join you during that broadcast as well.
Sounds great. That was Athletic Director Charles Gomes, nice enough to spend some time with us here. The Dolphins leave 2 on in their half of the third. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back getting ready for the top half of the fourth. Both teams have threatened here this afternoon but have failed to score. The Dolphins got a couple of runners on in their half of the third inning. They were able to get runners down to second and third with 1 out, but DeMarco and Miola strike out for the final outs of the inning. So now we head into the top of the fourth inning. It'll be 4, 5, and 6. Lang, DiDonato, and Rodriguez for the Rangers, and Kennedy's first pitch is going to be taken for a ball, 1-0. And the 1-0 pitch is outside for a ball. That runs the count now to 2-0. Lang 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out in the first. The wind and the pitch is on the inside corner for a strike. That'll run the count now to 1-2. The wind and the pitch grounded to second. It's going to be played there by Mercado. He gets it over to Muzio in time for the out. So Lang goes out to second base for the first out. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Mike DiDonato. DiDonato singled and made it all the way to third base, but that's as far as he got. He's 1 for 1. The wind and Kennedy's first pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. Kennedy looking in for the sign. The 1-0. Take it for a strike. That evens the count up at 1-1. DiDonato right on top of the plate. He backed off of that pitch, but caught enough for the play for a strike as that swung on, grounded to first. Played there by Musio. He'll step on the bag unassisted for the out. 2 up, 2 down quickly here for Kennedy, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Jonathan Rodriguez. Rodriguez singled in the second. He's 1 for 1 as well. Actually, I believe that single was changed to an error by the first baseman. As Kennedy winds. The 1-0 is swung on, drilled deep to center field. Glenister going back, away back in left center. He's there, and he makes the catch for the final out. 3 up, 3 down quickly for the Rangers in their half of the fourth. Nothing across, no score. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back getting ready now for the bottom half of the fourth inning. No score between the Dolphins and the Rangers as the Rangers go down in order for the first time here tonight in the fourth. And it'll be Musio, Glenister, and Mikado scheduled to bat here for the Dolphins in their half of the fourth inning. Musio reached on an error to second. He's 0 for 1. And the first pitch is on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Seven looking in for the sign. And the 0-1 pitch is swung on, grounded back to the screen, and that's going to run the count to Musio now to 0-2. The wind and the pitch is swung on, nub foul, and the count will hold at 0-2. Kennedy is ready. Now the 0-2 pitch. Just off the outside corner by Sarin, and the count now 1-2. Sarin looking in, the 1-2 pitch. Check swing taken up high for a ball. That'll run the count to 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, no one out here for the Dolphins. And the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. 3 strikeouts in a row now for Sarin. And he's got 4 on the game. 1 out, no one on, and that'll bring up Glenn Glenister.
The left fielder, number 25, Glenn Glenister.
Glenister grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the second. He's 0 for 1. The wind and the pitch is taken for a strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, and the pitch is swung on, and that's drilled into center field. Cone going back, he's under it, and he makes the catch for the second out. 2 up, 2 down quickly, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Josh Mercado. You know, one of the people so responsible for the perpetuation of this game and, you know, helping to make it what it is today is our good friend, of course, the current athletic director of the Drew University Rangers, heading up to Bates College up in Maine. And, you know, we know he's not here tonight. He's up in California, and I'm not sure if he's listening or not, but quick shout out to our good buddy Jason Fine, of course, who was, of course, the athletic director here at the College of Staten Island before moving on to the Drew University Rangers. And for those of you that follow Division III sports, as that's fouled up over our heads and out of play, is the landscape of Division III sports changing once again, is our good buddy Jason Fine heading up to Maine to take over that college at Bates College, and certainly wish him a lot of luck up at Bates. And dress warm, because it's going to be awful cold up in Maine. So that's going to be taken, and that's going to run the count even now to 2-2 on Mercado. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Here in the bottom half of the 4th inning, no score between the Dolphins and the Rangers. The wind, the 2-2. Outside for a ball, and that's going to run the count full to 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 4th. And the 3-2 pitch is swung on nub foul, so Mercado gets enough of it to stay alive. And the count is still full at 3-2. Sarin looking in for the sign. He's ready. Now the 3-2 pitch is taken. Strike 3 call. Mercado was heading down to first base on the play, but instead he gets called out by the home plate umpire in what looked like a pretty good pitch from up here. So the Dolphins are retired in order. 5 in a row for Sarin. 4 complete in the books with the score. Dolphins nothing, Rangers nothing. We'll step aside, take a break. You're watching men's baseball coverage right here on CSI Sports at CSIDolphins.com. Dave Pizzuto down on the field thanking Drew University for donating their meal money here today. Over $400 donated to the cause of breast cancer awareness. A great job done by Drew University. Head coach Brian Hirschberg out on the field with Anthony Hillary to present the check. And, you know, it's something that Drew does every year. Great job by head coach Brian Hirschberg and the Drew University Rangers, once again donating their meal money here. Dave Pizzuto down out on the field making the announcement, and great job by the Rangers as we head now to the top half of the fifth inning. No score between the Rangers and the Dolphins. Each team with 3 hits here this afternoon. The Dolphins charged with 1 error. As it looks like we've had a change in the scoring once again. We'll see if we can get the official scoring for you on that. But here in the top half of the fifth inning, it'll be Mitch, Pfefferkorn, and Cone, 7, 8, 9 hitters, scheduled to face Ryan Kennedy. And the first pitch is taken for a ball, 1-0. One ball, no strikes, as that ball is going to be grounded slowly towards third. Played by DeMarco. The throw is high, but Musio able to come up and make the catch for the first out. So 1 out, nobody on here in the top half of the fifth inning, and it'll bring up the catcher, Dan Pfefferkorn. Pfefferkorn came up with 2 runners on. First and third, 1 out for the Rangers in the top half of the second inning, and he grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. Each team with 1 double play here this afternoon. And the 0-1 count is swung on, grounded to short. Nice defensive play that time by Navarrete, and they throw over to first base in time for the out. And a nice defensive play by Musio to come up with that ball, as Navarrete's throw was a little bit low. So 2 up, 2 down quickly for the Rangers in their half of the fifth inning. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Marcone.
The center fielder, number 7, Marcone.
So Cone the batter now, with 2 out, no one on for the Rangers. Here in the bottom half, in the top half of the fifth inning. Kennedy's first pitch is a swing and a miss, strike 1. Code grounded out to second in the third. He's 0 for 1. Kennedy doing a very nice job settling down. He's now retired the last 7 in a row and is ahead in the count to Cone now, 0-2. The wind and the 0-2 pitch is swung on and nub foul, and the count will hold at 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, no one on for the Rangers. Top of the fifth, no score. The 0-2 pitch is swung on, and that's blooped into left field. And there is Glenister to make the catch for the final out of the inning. So nice job of pitching by Kennedy. He's really settled down and retired the last 8 Rangers in a row. Nothing across for Drew in their half of the fifth inning. We've now played 4.5 innings. Halfway through, no score. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back and we're getting ready now for the bottom half of the fifth inning. Becca, Drake, and Naverti, the three scheduled hitters for the Dolphins, 7, 8, and 9. And the first pitch is going to be fouled back for a strike, 0-1. Jeff Sarin on the mound for the Rangers. He's pitched a very strong game, as has Kennedy for the Dolphins. The wind and the 0-1 pitch is going to be taken for a strike, 0-2. Becca grounded back to the mound and is only at bat in the second. He's 0-1. The wind and the pitch. Just off the outside corner for a ball, and that'll run the count now to 1-2. The wind, the 1-2 is swung on, that's hit hard towards second base. 2 hops to Mateo, and he gets it over to first base in time for the out. So 1 up, 1 down for the Dolphins here in their half of the fifth inning as Becca grounds out to second for the first out, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Bobby Drake. Drake led off in the third inning, got on base. But both pitchers doing a nice job here tonight. And both teams looking for the first run here tonight. As Drake now gets ahead in the count at 2-0. The count on Drake as Sarah now steps off the rubber. And now he gets back on. It's been a chilly night here at the CSI Baseball Complex. Both pitchers doing a nice job as that pitch is up high for a ball. And now Drake gets ahead in the count at 3-0. The wind, the 3-0 pitch is taken for a strike, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. 1 out. The pitch is up high for a ball 4. So Bobby Drake draws the base on balls. He'll go down to first base with 1 out, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Jet Naverte. Naverte grounded out to first base in the third. He's 0-1. Anthony Hillary will come on the air and join us at the conclusion of this half inning. 1-0 the count now. With Drake now down on second base. And 1 out. Drake representing the first run of the game here this afternoon, and that pitch is outside, and that's going to run the count now to 2-1. So Drake drawing the base on balls. He's now in scoring position. And it looks like we're going to have a break in the action. As we will have a meeting at the mound with all of the players. As the Dolphins have a runner on second base now with 1 out, 2-1 the count on Naverte. Both teams started off the game, and Drew had a couple of opportunities. They had a pair of extra base hits in the first inning, but could not score as they ran themselves out of the inning with a caught stealing, and then had an opportunity with a couple of runners on in the second inning, but a double play by Dan Pfefferkorn eliminated that threat. The Dolphins' biggest threat was probably when they had 2 base runners, but they had a double play of their own in the second inning. And 1-1 the count now. Sarin is about ready to get back on the mound. And now Naverte is going to step out of the box. I have 2-1 on my 2-1 account on my scorecard. Scoreboard has 1-1. The wind and the pitch is swung on, and that's drilled into right and left center field. And coming on is the left fielder, Mitch. He cannot make the play. Coming around third and coming in to score for the Dolphins will be Bobby Drake. It will be an RBI single by Naverte. He will go to second base on the throw, and the Dolphins now lead by a score of 1-0. So a base on balls, Drake able to make it to second base and score on the single, and the Dolphins draw first blood here this afternoon, and that's going to bring up the leadoff hitter, Frank Sconzo. Sconzo walked in line to short. He's 0 for 1 officially. So the Dolphins batting here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. They've taken a 1-0 lead. The wind and the pitch is going to be swung on and foul back, and that's going to even the count up at 1-1. Dolphins with 1 run in, another runner in scoring position. And they've taken a 1-0 lead. The wind now. And the pitch is going to be down low for a ball. Ball gets away a little bit, but Naverte cannot go any further. So the count now 2-1. Saren looking in. Action in the Ranger bullpen, and the throw down to second base and getting picked off on the play is going to be Naverte. As he got off the base just a little bit too far. He's going to be picked off 1-6 for the second out, and now with 2 outs and nobody on, that's going to leave Sconzo to try to reignite this Dolphin offense here in the bottom of the fifth, as Sconzo takes that one up just high for a ball, and the count goes to 3-1. So Naverte getting picked off at second base for the second out. 3-1 on Sconzo. The pitch is going to be down low for a ball, ball 4. So Saren walks his second batter here in the bottom half of the fifth inning, but a big pickoff on Naverte, and the Dolphins will try to build on the rally now with 2 outs and a runner in first base. And I'm not sure, something appears to be wrong with the bat that DeMarco wanted to bring up to the plate, but whatever it is appears to have been addressed.
Anthony DeMarco.
So Anthony DeMarco will be the batter now, with Sconzo down on first base and 2 out, and a throw to first, and Sconzo is back. Sconzo 7 for 8 in stolen bases this year, so he does have good speed. Go over to first base, and he's back once again. So the Dolphins able to take advantage of a base on balls to Bobby Drake. He got down to second base, scored on the Naverte single, and that's been the only run here so far. Sconzo nailed down at first base with a 2-out walk, and for the third time before throwing a pitch to the plate, Saren goes over to first base. Wind and the first pitch, check swing, taken just down low for a ball, 1-0. And a couple of these pitches this last half inning by Saren have been very close and hasn't been able to get a call, and now the Dolphins get ahead in the count now at 1-0. And now going to second base and getting thrown out on the play is going to be Sconzo. So the Dolphins get 2 runners thrown out on the base pads, and they go down here in their half of the 6th inning. But they do score a run on a hit. No one left. 5 complete in the books. Anthony Hillary will join us next. We played 5 complete in the books with the score. Dolphins 1, Rangers 0. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back.
Good.
We're back getting ready now for the top half of the 6th inning. The College of Staten Island breaks across with a run in their half of the 5th inning, and they lead by a score of 1-0. But just as traditional as this Breast Cancer Awareness Night has become, so has our visit from the man that made it all happen, Anthony Hillary. Anthony, Mike Babuski on CSI Sportsnet, welcome once again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure.
You know, Anthony, this game has been going on for so long now, and we've been coming out year after year. But, you know, the one thing that never seems to change is that, you know, people are still afflicted with the disease, and, you know, people still suffer for it. And, you know, every year we get to see a couple of heroic stories of people that, you know, really have been battling back against this disease.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great night just to highlight those people that are battling the disease. I mean, this year, again, a little more special maybe for us and our family because my sister was here throwing out the first pitch. You know, she had her battles in the last year and a half or so with the disease. So to, you know, for it to come around again and kind of, you know, afflict our family is, it's tough. But again, this is kind of what reminds us what this night's all about.
Yeah, and you know something, Anthony, it's a story that goes back a long time, but there's always new people listening to the broadcast. Why don't you take a minute or two and really tell us how this whole night developed?
Well, my freshman year, my mother was diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer, and after a couple rounds of chemotherapy, she succumbed to disease in 2004, in February of 2004, and at my mother's funeral, actually, my grandmother made mention of, you know, how nice it was that everybody had, you know, ordered flowers at the funeral, but it would have been nice if, you know, the money could have been used for a breast cancer charity or fundraiser. And it kind of got me thinking. And then from there, I said, well, there's got to be some sort of way we could raise money in my mother's name for breast cancer. And I went to Coach Callie, who was the coach at the time, and I told him what my idea was to have a game maybe where we could raise some money. And he thought it was a great idea. We then brought it upstairs to Jason Fine, who was the athletic director, and he was on board. So we kind of just went from there.
Yeah, and, you know, it's been a game that's gone on for, you know, quite some time as the Dolphins get the first out here in the top half of the 6th inning. But, you know, it's an event now that's raised over $68,000 for breast cancer and the organizations that, you know, really help to combat it. And, you know, Anthony, you can't talk around the campus or in my office or, you know, just around the neighborhood with, you know, out having somebody affected by the disease. My mom was affected by it. We were talking with athletic director Charles Gomes earlier. His mother was affected by it as well. And, you know, it seems like it affects so many people here out on Staten Island.
Yeah, unfortunately, Staten Island has a higher rate of breast cancer patients, and you know, it seems like it's, you know, unfortunately, it's almost unavoidable that you're going to come across or know somebody or be related to somebody that's going to be afflicted with the disease. You know, and again, this is why we kind of do tonight's event.
Yes, that ball is lofted into right field, and Miola can't make the play on the ball, and going all the way into third base on the play will be Mateo. So we'll see how that scored, but a opportunity for the Rangers to come back and tie the game. But yeah, Anthony, there's no doubt it, affects so many people, and every year the baseball team comes out, and for the last 6 years it's been Drew University coming here and participating in this game, and it seems like they always come out and go the extra mile. They always donate their meal money, and just agree to participate in the game, and really a nice spirit of cooperation. Of course, our good friend Jason Fine, the athletic director at Drew, at least through the end of this year.
Yeah, again, we've been able to come across a lot of great people in the course of the 14 years now that we've been doing this game, and Drew University stepped up a couple of years ago, and once they participated in the event, they said, well, make sure we're back every year, and they've cleared their schedule. They've made sure that they've been able to be here and be a partner for our for this cause. And again, everybody, their athletic director, Jason Fine, all the way down to their players is so supportive of tonight, of this game, and they put a lot of effort into tonight, making sure that they're here and ready. And, we couldn't have asked for a better partner. Again, the sponsors also, one-on-one physical therapy. We've been very, very lucky that people have reached out to us to be supportive of tonight's event.
Yeah, and you see athletes from all the different athletic programs here, and I had Coach Tony Petosa here before, and it's nice to see the whole community come out for this event here every year. Yeah,
I mean, you look around, you see people from different organizations. You see, I saw a few of the high school baseball coaches around here, and a couple of the high school teams. Newdorp's here with Ray Smith. Saw Coach Ebeline from St. Peter's here. People, again, it's whether they've been affected directly or indirectly, they have their reasons for being here and supporting tonight. And, again, it's been going on so long now, you kind of see the same faces every year and new faces each year. Again, it's really great, and it's humbling, and it's been such a great event, and, we're very, very lucky.
Yeah, and, Anthony, you mentioned one-on-one sports, as that's going to be a swing and a miss, and even to count up at 2-2. And, they've been a sponsor for a while now, and, Mike Morrow, of course, the head baseball coach, working with them. And, it's just so nice, again, to see so many different members of the community step up.
Yeah, Mike's been great. I mean, he kind of just jumped right in with both feet when we started this, and it's been great. He's been great for this game. He's helped it expand, and we're really lucky that he was so willing to kind of accept this responsibility of this night.
Yeah, and of course, Anthony, all the sponsored prizes and raffles, and we have the 50-50 event and all those things, and again, it's just nice to see all the effort, and of course. We'd be remiss if we didn't give a shout-out to Dave Pizzuto, of course, who is so involved and put so much effort into doing all these things.
And he's another guy that was here from the early days of this. I was a freshman when Dave was here, and, he's kind of been here from the beginning. And, again, he put so much effort. It's almost like a labor of love for a lot of the people here that they put so much effort into tonight to make sure it comes off well. And, it's always a great night. Everybody that ends up coming to the event always has a great time, and they say how well it's run. And, again, it's a testament to CSI and the administration and the baseball program and everybody else that's involved.
Anthony, I don't know what to say, but, thanks for joining us once again.
Thank you.
It's been a yearly event, and, it's just amazing how quickly these years go by.
Yeah, to make it seem a little bit quicker, actually, this year was the first year my wife and I, we had a baby, and she was here tonight. She's 10 weeks old, and, of course, we named her Grace. And, so that it's kind of, it's been, made tonight again a little bit even more special for my family and I.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic. And thanks a lot for joining us once again, Anthony. That's Anthony Hillary, and nice enough to come up and join us here, and to take a couple of minutes in between all of the festivities and the ceremonies that he's involved in, and again, a something that's been going on here at the College of Staten Island for quite some time. And the Dolphins also, in that inning while we had Anthony on the phone, able to escape a one-out triple on the play, or I should say a three-base error, strand that runner on third base, and able to get started here. And so here in the bottom half of the sixth inning, it'll be Anthony DeMarco to lead off with a single, and with one out and nobody on, that's going to bring up Nick Miola. But why Nick Miola is waiting on for us as Anthony Hillary steps out. We're going to be joined by yet another very special guest here on CSI Sportsnet, a woman that is coming off of their team's 19th consecutive victory here this afternoon as they went to Randall's Island and defeated Baruch College in a couple of not really a couple of very close games, and that's head coach Dr. Stella Porto. Dr. Porto, welcome once again to CSI Sportsnet.
Thank you for having me.
Coach, let's get right into it. This team has been playing at a level that really has been unprecedented. The pitching of this team has just been off the charts, Coach.
It's been unreal. Jackie Cateller is one of the top pitchers right now with the top ERA in the country. Today, she just did an outstanding, stellar performance, and she keeps getting stronger and stronger as we go along. It's just amazing. Nicolette Trapani, another one. The ERAs are below 1, and we also have now Allison Marr. Our transfer from Rider University, and she's also doing an amazing job. So we're very, very fortunate in what we have in our pitching.
So one out, one on for the Dolphins, as it'll be Frank Musio, the batter. Musio 0 for 2 this afternoon. And, Coach, the team now with a record of 22-3 on the year. And for the College of Staten Island, still a lot of unfinished business here in this 2017 season. And you're going to start out with a couple of very tough non-conference doubleheaders coming up. First this Thursday afternoon against a Montclair State team that's not having their best season that they've ever had. Stella, as the Dolphins try to steal second and will be successful. But then this Saturday afternoon, you'll go up against the 8th-ranked team in the country against Moravian College. So what are your thoughts, Coach, heading into these couple of big doubleheaders?
Well, for the first time in 15 years, we are very, very excited about playing them. We believe that we're going to be very competitive against them, and it's really going to tell us nationally where we could stand. It's very difficult with our strength of schedule and our SOS points, going in to get regionally ranked because of, different things that we have to deal with who we play. However, now, regionally, when you play the top teams, 8th in the country, Moravian and Montclair, to be able to win 1-2 games from them, it's going to give us a recognition, regionally that, yes, we need to be ranked, we should be ranked, and we should be able to play with all the big boys out there in national NCAA land. And
let's take a couple of minutes, Coach, to talk about your number one starting pitcher, Jackie Cortella, as the Dolphins nearly get picked off at second base for the second time tonight. But Jackie actually had our ERA go up to almost a quarter of a run a game, Coach, after allowing a run in her start earlier in the week. But she's pitched so well, her batting average up over 400. And, Coach, you look at where she started out and, in her first season had an ERA up over 3. But it seems every year she's knocked it like a run off of her ERA.
Jackie has just gotten stronger every year. I mean, her determination, her cognitive abilities now. She's a nursing major, and she's gone through a lot this year with her clinicals. She's managed to have the best year of her life, actually. Maybe being so busy and so focused on her nursing clinicals has brought her to a new level. And also, as a senior, she wants to go out with a bang, and honestly, she's doing that. And, our pitching coach just died that we used to have, Betty Zwingraff, and I do know that she's our angel in that outfield. And I know ever since she's died that we've literally, gone through a whole sequence of events that I can't explain. And one of them is, this spectacular run that we're having. But also we feel her presence on the mound, and I feel her around us here at CSI, and it shows.
And, another player who's really developed in her 3 years as a pitcher, Coach, has been Nicolette Trapani. And, when Nicolette just got to the team, Coach, you could see what great stuff she'd have, but she would be a little inconsistent with her pitching. But now, another pitcher that should the season end today, she would have broken the all-time CSI Dolphin single-season ERA record, and she's third on the team in ERA.
Yes. Wow. That's just amazing. Yeah, Nicolette has gotten stronger and stronger every year. Her spins on her ball, even for today, I mean, they would hit the bat, it just spun, and it just dies. And that's what we have the ability of. And to have that 1, 2, and now 3 punch, we can go to any one of them to start. We can go to any one of them to save a game. And we have that, cushion that, we can have all the batters up there that we want, that we have our confidence now in our pitching.
As another run will score as the Rangers commit an error on just a two-hop grounder that will allow the Dolphins now to take a 2-0 lead. And, Coach, along with great pitching must be great defense. And, I can't remember ever having a Dolphin team that could field the ball the way the way that this team can. And, it seems like it starts at shortstop with your freshman sensation, Patricia Riches.
Well, Patricia, is 4 years in the making recruiting. I met Patricia at a tournament 4 years ago, and I told her I wanted her. Everyone go up to me, put their hands in my face, and said, "Go, Coach, she's going D1. She's going D1. She wants to go away." There was a connection there. I don't know what it was, but I never gave up on her. I went to her high school games. I went to her travel games. And I was always there. And I think the relationship that I built, with her family, with her coaches, helped her transition of not going away to that D1 school, but to where her anxieties would decrease. And, she felt comfortable coming here. She felt comfortable finally coming home. And when she gave me that final call that she was coming to CSI, oh, my God, I was so happy. And I knew that she was going to bring our team to another dimension, and she is. She literally is.
And, one of the players, Coach, that's really having a fantastic second year for the Dolphins has been Antoinette Galbo. Not only is she hitting the ball and has her average up well over 300 as the Dolphins will get retired and will head into the top of the 7th with the Dolphins leading by a score of 2-0. But it seems whether you put her at second base in the first game or third base in the second game, she seems to make 1 or 2 great defensive plays a game, including a diving stop for the last out of the game against Hunter College that enabled the team to sweep the doubleheader against Hunter.
Yeah, Antoinette's been clutch for us. Defensively, offensively, we can count on her. She just has this amount of range that, when she's playing defense, that she's able to go left side to the right side. She covers so much ground. And for us, we need that because, honestly, with our schedule being the strength that it is, we're going to see the top of the top. And, she's able now to handle it and give us that depth in the field, whether it's at second or at third base. She's an amazing player.
Coach, one of the most underrated things in softball is really just the exchange between the pitcher and the catcher. And, how many times teams get themselves in trouble with a walk or a bunt single and a wild pitch or a pass ball, and before you know it, a runner is on second base. And, this team just doesn't seem to make those kind of mistakes anymore.
No, you know what? I think players reach a cognitive ability, where they don't think anymore, that they're able to just go like a robot and go with that motion. And honestly, we get the mental game now, I think, down pat. As long as my kids are mentally strong, to go, 90% of this game is mental. And one of the biggest things we work on is the psychological part of the game. If there's an issue, if there's a problem, we get it done within 5 minutes, 10 minutes. If they need to speak to each other, it's done. The mental part of this game is so huge for us. And I think that's one of the biggest things that's keeping us this far, is the fact that they're going up there, liking each other, being with each other, and honestly love playing together, that, we have that type of atmosphere.
And, Coach, you've had really Jamie Holmes and Vanessa Joya doing most of the catching this year, and they're really both having phenomenal years, and it's very difficult to run against either one of those two catchers.
No. Both of them have done a great job back there. They're very enthusiastic. They take control of the game at all times, and that's what we need. Once they're on the field, we know that they know what positioning is. They know when the cutoffs are going to be done and played. And the outfielders come to rely on them as much as the pitchers do, every field position, because they're calling those calls. They're arranging my players, on the field, and they're taking charge. So they're very good captains of the field.
Yeah, and, you look out into the outfield, and you have your senior leader and Christy Coangelo out in center field, and Christy having a phenomenal year both in the field and with the glove. And then in right field, you have freshman Juliana Cretella, who's made some great plays defensively and made some great throws from out in right field as well.
My outfield is second to none. The amount of ground that they all cover and the fact that they all come to rely on each other and back each other up has been outstanding. Their arms, getting the throws from the outfield all the way straight to home when key plays that we needed to do, and they've saved games and saved runs just from their, throwing and hitting their cutoffs. They're doing a great job.
Coach, we mentioned earlier the team has now won a college record at 19 games in a row, and a couple of big games coming up here this weekend against Montclair State and Moravian. And then you still have New Jersey City University that was added back onto the schedule as well. So still a lot of exciting softball to play, Coach, but you can never count on things going the way you expect them to in the CUNYAC tournament.
No, when we hit the CUNYAC tournament, we know that Hunter College, it really plays us hard, so is Baruch. We do the best that we can. When we get here and you have all those cameras on you and you have the fans on you of 500 to 1,000 people, it becomes a very big issue. So the mental game, preparing for that part of the atmosphere, that's our main goal this year, is to take what's on the outside and just worry about what's on the inside and not let anyone bother us at the end. We have to play our game, we have to play it hard, and we can't let up on anybody. And playing these tough teams towards the end is help us prepare to, get a CUNY championship.
And Coach, the Dolphins have won games in the NCAA tournament for consecutive years for the first time in their history. But I know that you and the ladies are looking for more here in 2017.
Yeah, we have a goal, and one of the biggest goals is definitely to win a regional. We think we're placed in a very good way. In Florida this year, we had a very good showing in Florida, played some of the top teams, and being invited to this invitational for Diamond 9. And the strength schedule that we put on with Moravian, William Patterson, different teams like that, we're looking to make ourselves better. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is with playing tough teams.
And, Coach, the team's starting to get a little bit more national recognition, and Jackie Cortella picking up a national award this week as well.
Yeah, we're very excited about that. Jackie is a workhorse. And if we could just follow her example and for years to come, when she gives clinics, she has these kids in awe. And here's a child that is 5'6", not a 6'2" player, but yet throwing at 65 miles an hour, and with speed and with agility, and she's doing an amazing job.
As Drew able to come across and push across their first run of the afternoon with 2 outs. So they get their first run of the game, and they have the tying run on second base with 2 outs here. And, Coach, the Dolphins, as we mentioned, a big home doubleheader against Montclair State, but you guys are going to play Moravian on Saturday, and what do you think it's going to be like, especially for a couple of your younger players?
Yeah, well, I don't think they realize who we're going to be playing. They're going to go into it thinking it's another game. My veterans know we're going to be facing 2 of the best pitchers in the United States. This weekend, it's going to be a pitcher's duel. I definitely think it's going to be a pitcher's duel, and I'm looking forward to it, For the first time, the coach is very interested in, from Moravian. He's having a senior day that day, so we feel honored to have been chosen for a senior day. But, he's a veteran of 700 wins, and, we're really looking forward to playing them.
Yeah, it should be really exciting, and, some interesting decisions you're going to have to make down the stretch here, too, as well, Coach, is deciding where you're going to play people and who you're going to pitch, and, a lot of good issues to have.
Yeah, it's very nice issues, but we have to try and get a game plan and prepare for our nationals and our conferences games. So we do have some kind of game plans. We're playing out this week, see how everybody does against these teams, and we're going to make a decision Friday night, who's going to be starting in positions, and it's going to be based on, people just fighting each other out, for each space, and whoever's done the best, whoever's been hitting is going to be playing, and that's why we see it.
Yeah, so the team coming in really firing on all cylinders, batting .346 as a team, and a team ERA under a single run a game. And, the most impressive thing, Coach, has been the way that your starting pitching allows so few hits compared to innings pitched. Only 101 hits in 154 innings going into today's game as a pitching staff.
Wow, that's amazing. you see it, you get to watch them, and just the fact that this is happening is just surreal for us. It really is. But we want to not just enjoy it, but we want to learn from everything. From each game that we have, what can we do better? How can I make this help? How can we get this situation going? Who would be better here? What kind of issues do we have, and how can we make things better for the next game that we have? And that's our goals.
So, Coach, as the team is rolling down the stretch, is the schedule now finalized, or is it possible that you could still add more games?
Well, William Patterson's still in our little cage. We're going to look to try to play them. They are the top team right now in NIJAC, which is number 2 conference in the country right now. So we really would like to get them back on our schedule. So we're going to look if we possibly can put them back. But right now, everything else should be set in stone except for that game.
So we're very pleased to be joined by the head women's softball coach, Dr. Stella Porto, as the team continuing on a roll now, 22-3 on the year. And, Coach, the team is coming in having won 4 consecutive CUNYAC championships, going for number 5. And, the way this team is playing, you're going to be very difficult to stop.
Thank you. I just hope they continue with it. And, as long as the mental game is there and they're hungry, I think we really have a great shot at it.
Yeah, so the College of Staten Island getting ready to face Montclair State this Thursday afternoon here at the CSI Softball Complex before heading out to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania to play Moravian College this Saturday afternoon. And thanks for coming in and joining us.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
That's head coach Dr. Stella Porto, nice enough to spend a couple of minutes joining us here on CSI Sportsnet here this afternoon as the College of Staten Island continuing on their roll as they were able to sweep Baruch College here this afternoon, continue on their winning streak as they have won now 19 straight games and opened up their record to 22-3. But here in the top half of the 7th inning, the Rangers have come back to cut the Dolphin lead down to 2-1 and have a runner at second base. That's the tying run with 2 outs. 3-2 the count, and the pitch is going to be outside, ball 4. So Cone will draw the base on balls. It's now first and second base for the Rangers with 2 outs. And it'll be back up to the top of the lineup and Zach Lifshitz. Zach has been on base twice. He's doubled and walked in 3 at-bats. 2 official at-bats. Won the score. Dolphins trying to work their way out of trouble here in the 7th, and the first pitch is going to be down low for a ball, 1-0. One ball, no strikes. Kennedy winds. The pitch is swung on, and that's lined right back up the middle. That's going to be in for a base hit. 1 run will score. Drake bobbles the ball in center field, and that will allow the runner to advance to third. So a couple of runs in with 2 outs here is going to tie the game up at 2, and that's probably going to be all for Ryan Kennedy. So Kennedy will come out of the game, and we'll step aside and take a break here in the top half of the 7th inning, tied at 2. You're watching baseball coverage on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. We're back, and we're getting ready for the conclusion here of the top half of the seventh inning. The Rangers coming back with a couple of runs here with 2 outs in their half of the seventh to tie this game at 2. They're still threatening with runners at first and third and 2 outs. Second baseman Isaiah Mateo, the batter. The wind and the pitch is inside for a ball, 1-0. Terrence Mulligan coming into the game now for the Dolphins. We'll get you Terrence's numbers here in just a minute. Mulligan winds the 1-0. Is on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Mulligan making his 6th appearance, all in relief. 12 innings, 12 hits, 6 runs, 3 earned, walked 4, struck out 6. Pitches outside for a ball, 2-1. Dolphins now with 4 errors on the game here this afternoon. And the pitch is going to hit the batter as Mateo is going to be hit by the pitch, I believe. I thought the home plate umpire was signaling foul ball. But he's gone down to first base, and now there's going to be a conference between the home plate umpire and the base umpire. And it's going to be ruled a foul ball. So Mateo will have to come back to the plate now. And the count is 2-2. I do believe it's 2-2. So now Mateo will come back into the batter's box. And the count is 2-2. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Mulligan comes in. He's able to strike out Mateo for the final out, but not before the Rangers tie up the game with a couple of runs. 7th inning stretch time, 2-2 the score. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. Anthony Hillary will be joining us at home plate to have a few words, being introduced by David Pizzuto. So let's join Anthony Hillary out on the field.
Just like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Of course, Drew University, their baseball program, the coaches, administration, being such great partners for this program the last few years, always being so willing to be here and participate and donate their meal money. We couldn't ask for anything more from them. They're absolutely fantastic. So thank you so much for being here every year. Really appreciate it. Of course, the CSI baseball program, coaches, Coach Morrow, Coach Barbella, Dave Pizzuto, everybody from the top down, administration all the way down. They put so much effort into tonight. It's really a labor of love for everybody that participates in this and volunteers. I couldn't imagine years ago when we started this that we'd still be doing it 14 years later. And again, it's just a testament to the people that are here that put so much effort into tonight and make this work every year. And again, I can't thank you enough. My family can't thank you enough for making this happen and possible every year. So thank you so much for everything that you guys do for us. And of course, sponsors, one-on-one is again here every year, just donating money for us, promoting this for us. Again, they are a fantastic sponsor. I'd like to thank all of you for being here tonight. Again, being so supportive of this event that we put on each year. It's really special for my family this year, having my sister being able to throw out the first pitch. And we've been doing it long enough that we were actually able to have my daughter here, Grace, tonight. So it's a really special night for me and my family. Thank you all for coming out. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that said, oh, grant like me. Hands once lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace.
Leading off for the Dolphins, the designated hitter, number 35, Sean Becker.
We're back getting ready now for the bottom half of the seventh inning. 2-2 between the Rangers and the Dolphins. The Dolphins led by a score of 2-0 with single runs in the fifth and sixth inning. But with two out, the Rangers scored 2 runs in their half of the seventh. So that will make the score 2-2. And Sean Becker will now lead off here for the Dolphins in their half of the seventh inning. The wind and the pitch to Becker is taken for a strike, and that'll even the count up at 1-1. The wind and the pitch. Just off the plate for a ball. That'll run the count now to 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, and the pitch is going to be a swing and a miss. That'll even the count up at 2-2. Becker 0 for 2 thus far this afternoon. The wind and the 2-2 pitch. Check swing, but he went too far. Strike 3. Good start here for Sarin to the bottom half of the seventh inning as he strikes out Becker for the first out. Now to bring up center fielder Bobby Drake.
Number 24, Bobby Drake.
Drake walked and scored the Dolphins' first run. Sarin winds and the pitch is on the outside corner at the knees for a strike 0-1. Drake doesn't like the call. The wind and the 0-1 down low, and that'll even the count up at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. No one on for the Dolphins here in the bottom half of the seventh. 2-2 the score between the Rangers and the Dolphins. And the pitch is just off the outside corner for a ball, 2-1. The The wind, the 2-1 pitch, swung on, skied up in the air into center field. Cone is there. He's under it, and he makes the catch for the second out. 2 up, 2 down for the Dolphins here in their half of the 7th inning. And it'll bring up the shortstop,
Shortstop number 2, Jet Navertney.
Jet Navertney. So Navertney will try to get a 2-out rally going here for the Dolphins in the bottom half of the 7th inning. The wind and the first pitch is swung on and foul back. The count goes to 0-1. The wind and the 0-1 pitch is swung on and chopped in the hole between first and second. That'll be in for a base hit. So Jet with a 2-out single will go down to first base, and that'll bring up the top of the order and Frank Sconzo.
Top of the lineup for the Dolphins, the catcher number 17, Frank Sconzo.
Navertney 15 of 15 in stolen bases this year, so he's a threat to go. And with this game tied and 2 outs, I'd expect him to be going early in the count. Runner on first base now with 2 out. And the pitch is a check swing for a strike, 0-1. So Sconzo falls behind in the count now, 0-1. Head coach, the home plate umpire, I should say, having a few words for the Dolphin bench. And now we're ready to get underway with the count 0-1 and the pitch. Swung on, grounded to third. Played there by Rodriguez. He gets it over to Broyles in time for the final out of the inning. So the Dolphins get a 2-out hit by Navertney, but that's all the damage they could do. No runs, a hit, 1 left, 7 complete in the books, 2-2 the score. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back getting ready now for the top half of the 8th inning. 2-2 to score between the Dolphins and the Rangers. It'll be Broyles, Lang, and DiDonato, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Rangers, who came back in the 7th inning with 2 runs to tie this game at 2. First pitch to Broyles is going to be taken for a ball, 1-0. Mulligan came in to strike out Mateo to end the 7th inning, leaving the go-ahead run on third base, but now Mulligan falls behind in the count, 2-0. That pitch is going to be fouled back to the screen, and the count will be now 2-1. Mulligan winds the 2-1 pitch, is swung on and nubbed slowly back towards the plate. Mulligan plays it over to first base in time for the out. So Broyles is out 1-3 for the first out here in the 8th. And that'll bring up the designated player, Matthew Lang. Oh, we're going to have a substitution. We're going to have a pinch hitter here for the Rangers. And that'll be number 2, Ryan Sabag. So Sabag will pinch hit for Lang. And we'll get you Sabag's numbers here in just a minute. And the first pitch is taken for a strike, 0-1. The wind and the 0-1 is swung on and bounced back to the mound. It's going to be played there by Mulligan over to first base for the second out. So 2 ground balls back to the mound and 2 out here for the Rangers. Sabag had come in batting 186 into the game here, and now it'll bring up the 5th place hitter, the right fielder, Mike DiDonato. The wind and the pitch. Down low for a ball, 1-0. One ball, no strikes, 2 out, nobody on for the Rangers as that pitch is just off the outside corner. And that'll run the count now to 2-0. And that pitch is bounced back towards second base. Played over to first base in time for the final out of the inning. So Mercado makes the ground out. The Rangers go quietly in their half of the 8th. Nothing across. Tied at 2. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll be right back. We're back, and we're getting ready now for the bottom half of the 8th inning. DeMarco, Miola, and Muzio, the scheduled batters for the Dolphins. And the first pitch is going to be inside for a ball, 1-0. Saren's still working here for the Rangers in the 8th. The wind and that pitch is on the inside corner at the knees. The count will. The wind, the 1-1 is going to be down low for a ball, 2-1. Action in the Rangers bullpen. The wind and the pitch. Down low for a ball, and that's 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, and the pitch is inside, ball 4. So good start for the inning for the Dolphins as DeMarco draws the base on balls. He'll go down to first base. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Nick Miola. And the pitch is bunted back to the mound. Played there nicely by Sarah. He guns it over to first in time for the out. And that was a very good bunt that time by Miola. And it looked like he might even be able to get a base hit on it. But instead, a very nice defensive play that time. As Sarah able to get it over to first base for the out. So the sacrifice will be successful, 1-3. DeMarco will go down to second base, and the Dolphins will have a couple of opportunities to bring home the tying run, or the go-ahead run, I should say, here in the bottom of the 8th, and the first opportunity will be for Frank Muzio. Dolphins have already gotten picked off at second base here this afternoon. They've been caught stealing and had a couple of other plays where they were very fortunate not to get picked off, so they need to be careful on the base pads here. As we're waiting now for the first pitch to Muzio, and here it comes, and that's swung on and dubbed foul, and the count goes to 0-1. Muzio 1 for 3 on the afternoon for the Dolphins. The wind and the pitch is going to be down low for a ball, and that's going to even the count up at 1-1. Sarin still on the mound here in the bottom half of the 8th inning, pitching a very good game for the Rangers. And the 1-1 pitch is going to be a swing and a miss on the foul ball, and that'll make the count now 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. With 1 out here for the Dolphins. And the go-ahead run down at second. Sarin looking in. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and ripped down the right, in between the hole, in between first and second. That's going to be in for a base hit. Coming around third and coming in to score on the play will be DeMarco. The ball is cut off to hold Muzio down at first base, but it'll be an RBI single by Frank Muzio, and that will give the College of Staten Island a 2-1 lead. So the Dolphins take a 2-1 lead now. Muzio down at first base, a big RBI there for Frank, as he's going to pick up his 16th RBI of the year, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Glenn Glenister, who fouls that back for a strike, and the count goes to 0-1. Throw over to first base, and Muzio back in time. Women's softball team will be back in action this Thursday afternoon against Montclair State University, first pitch at 3:30, pregame at 3:15, right here on CSI Sportsnet, before they head down to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, play the 8th-ranked nationally Moravian College team. The 0-2 pitch is swung on and blooped down the right field line, foul and out of play, and the count will hold at 0-2. Glenister 0 for 3 this afternoon for the Dolphins, who have regained the lead here on a one-out single by Frank Musio here in the bottom of the 8th. The wind and the pitch is falling, grounded back toward the mound, over to short for one, back to first in time for the double play. A beautiful 1-6-3 double play, the second double play for the Rangers of the night. And that will end the inning for the Dolphins, but not before they regain the lead with a run, a hit, a walk, none left. 8 in the books. Last chance coming up for the Rangers with the score. Dolphins 3, Rangers 2. We'll step aside, take a break. You're watching baseball coverage on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. So we'll have Jordan Wilson going out to play right field for the Dolphins here in the 9th inning, as the third baseman Jonathan Rodriguez will lead off here for the Rangers, who are down to their last at-bat, trailing by a score of 3-2, and Rodriguez takes that first pitch for a strike. It's 0-1. Mulligan in his second full inning of work now for the Dolphins. The wind and the 0-1 pitch is swung on and driven to center field. Going back on the ball is Drake, but he's now under it, and he makes the catch for the out. So 1 up, 1 down for the Rangers in their half of the 9th, and it'll bring up the left fielder, Jason Mitch. So Mitch the batter now for the Rangers.
Your attention, pinch hitting for the Rangers, number 10, Anthony Tagliaferro.
So we're going to have a pinch hitter. Anthony Tagliaferro will be the batter. So the freshman will get an opportunity to pinch hit. And the first pitch is just off the plate for a ball, 1-0. And that pitch is swung on and blooped into short left field. Coming on is the left fielder, and making a nice sliding catch on the ball is Glenister for the second out. So Tagliaferro comes in to pinch hit, and he flies out to Glenister for the second out of the inning, and the Rangers are now down to their final out. catch a damn Pfefferkorn the batter, and he takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. The wind and the pitch is down low for a ball, and that'll run the count now to 2-0. Rangers down to their final out. The Dolphins with a run in their half of the eighth inning to take a 3-2 lead, and that pitch is on the inside corner for a strike, and that'll make the count now 2-1. Rangers down to their final out here. The wind, the 2-1 pitch is swung and bounded in the hole to shortstop, and no throw on the play that time is fielding the ball deep in the hole wasn't a verte, and he had really no chance, so it'll be an infield single now for Pfefferkorn. And we're going to have, I believe, a pinch hitter coming up here. No, actually, it'll be Mark Cohn, the scheduled batter, the center fielder, to bat now, with the tying run at first base and the winning run at the go-ahead run at the plate with 2 outs. Mulligan looking in for the sign, and the first pitch is taken on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. Dolphins trying to win their 7th straight here tonight and up their record to 17-7-1 and a 1 out away, and that's an off-speed breaking pitch for a strike. Cohn now falls behind in the count 0-2. So the Dolphins are 1 pitch away from extending their winning streak to 7. Mulligan in line for the win. That would be his first decision of the year. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. The wind, the 0-2 pitch is swung on and fouled back out of play, and the count holds at 0-2. Dolphins will be back in action tomorrow afternoon, a twilight doubleheader against Mount St. Vincent. And then Friday night against St. Joseph's, as that pitch is going to be down low for a ball. And that's going to run the count now to 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. And the 1-2 pitch is swung on and nub foul. So a nice job by Cohn staying alive. And the count holds at 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 on. Dolphins leading by a score of 3-2. And the pitch is swung on and hit hard in the hole between short and third, and that's going to be in for a base hit. So the Dolphins were 1 out away, but consecutive singles. First an infield single by Pfefferkorn, and now a single by Mark Cohn. And now that's going to bring out head coach Mike Morrow. And it looks like we might have a pitching change here as Terrence Mulligan will come out of the game, and we'll step aside, take a break, and be right back. We're back as Terrence Mulligan was unable to record the final out here in the ninth inning as he allows back-to-back two-out singles, first to Pfefferkorn and then to Mulligan. So Jason Fiala is going to come in and he's going to try to close the door here on the Rangers. In the bottom half of the ninth inning, the Rangers now with the tying run at second base, the go-ahead run down at first base. And Jason Fiala coming in. Fiala 0-1 with a 4.00 ERA. This is his 8th appearance, all in relief. And the first pitch is taken for a strike by Lipschitz, and the count is 0-1. In 9 innings, he's allowed 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned, walked 4, and struck out 9. The 0-1 pitch is outside for a ball. That's going to even the count up at 1-1. Lifshitz 2 for 3 on the night. He's got a double and an RBI for the Rangers, and he was bending away from that pitch as it broke over the plate for a strike. And now Fiala 1 strike away as he's ahead in the count 1-2. And that pitch blocked nicely that time by Sconzo, and the count evens at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. 2 on for the Rangers. We're here in the top half of the ninth inning. The Dolphins lead by a score of 3-2. The Rangers with 2 consecutive singles to keep this game alive, and that pitch is grounded slowly to shortstop. And the throw over to second base just in time for the final out of the inning. So the Dolphins able to force Mark Cohn at second base for the final out here tonight. So for the Rangers, no runs, 2 hits, 2 left on base. The Dolphins win this 14th annual Grace Hillary Breast Cancer Awareness Night by a final score of 3-2. They up their record on the year to 17-7-1. And at the same time are able to extend their winning streak to 7 games. So the College of Staten Island once again raising well over $4,500 here tonight on Breast Cancer Awareness Night. Another great night here. We brought you Athletic Director Charles Gomes. We had Anthony Hillary up here once again, of course, and we're pleased to be joined by head coach Dr. Stella Porto. So a great night for the Dolphins, a great night for breast cancer awareness as Staten Island once again raises more money, takes the total of these 14 years up over $70,000, and really just continues the good work here through 14 years. So for my engineer, Meshach Alexander, for everyone that helped put on this great event here at the College of Staten Island, for Anthony Hillary and all our friends here at CSI Sports, we're saying so long and thanks for joining us. Don't forget to join us this Thursday afternoon as the College of Staten Island will take on Montclair State University here in a non-conference doubleheader this Thursday afternoon. Have a great afternoon, everybody, and we'll see you soon. And we're just getting the final total from Dave Pizzuto, $5,300 raised here on the Breast Cancer Awareness Night. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you this Thursday.